Hi everyone. Couple bags of Doritos and a bunch of other simple ingredients, and we got a Doritos Bake. Looks something like that. Let's get started. The first thing we need is, of course, a frying pan, and that is 1 pound of ground beef. And we're going to cook it down and chop it up and get it nice and small and crumbly. Something like that. I had just a little bit of onions in the fridge, so in they go, because why not? Now once we get this down to where we need it, we need to put in our taco sauce. Instead of water, I had the tail end of a V8 juice, so I thought, let's throw that in too. So here's our taco sauce. I think this is going to be really good. Mix it all up, and I'm sure if you've used taco sauce, you got to let it simmer for a good 5 minutes. Get all that nice flavoring into the ground beef. Ta-da! 5 minutes later, it's absorbed a lot of the liquid, looking a lot better. We'll put it aside. Next up, there's our Doritos. Now I'm hoping, I've got 2 bags. I'm hoping one will be enough. It turns out the recipe actually said 1.5 bags. And that's what I needed. But anyway, we need to crumble these up. Well, I can't do it blindly in the bag, so I got another bag. And we just dumped them all in. Closed her up. Just like that. And now I started mashing them. And of course, the air's in there, so I'm afraid it's just going to pop. So I open it up a bit. Then I got the heavy artillery out to get them nice and smashy. There you go, 1 bag of crushed Doritos. Just like that. And we'll put that aside. So here's our tin that we're going to make our Doritos Bake in. Of course, you're going to want to lightly grease it. Cooking spray does wonders. Now our first ingredient is a can of crescent rolls. And of course I always love trying to get them out of the can. We unravel them and they go on the bottom. And that's our first layer. Doesn't quite fit in this tin pan. It would just fold over the edges, and I'm sure everything's going to work out just fine. Next up, a layer of our Doritos. I wanted just enough to cover it, so I thought I had enough to finish off the top. Get all nice and evenly smoothed out there. That's layer number 2. Our ground beef is next. And of course I want it as even as possible. And I don't want to have to mess around with the Doritos. So I'm kind of spooning it on. And that seems to cover the pan quite nicely. Just enough there. I think I had a little extra. Yeah, I did. And we've ever so carefully spread it out to the edges. There we go, like putting icing on a cake. There. So our next layer, actually we've got to pull out a bowl, sour cream and salsa. This is a 1/4 cup of salsa and 1 cup of sour cream. Personally, I think I would have rather cream cheese because it is a little sweet like this. So of course, mix, 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 mix. Get all nice and combined. And here we go. This is our next layer. I grabbed a spatula for the same reason I was careful with the ground beef. If I don't, it's just going to mush all over the place and you're not going to get that nice layer. And ever so carefully spread it out as even as we can. Look at that. Beautiful. And of course our next layer is cheese. This is my usual mixed cheese. You want to put straight cheddar or whatever? Absolutely. And this is around a good 2 cups of cheese. How can you not do it without cheese? I mean, the only thing missing out of this is cream mushroom soup. All right, so here's the end of our Doritos. And I think you can see here there's just not quite enough to cover the top the way I would like. I might have been able to squeeze it out like that and gone easy on it. But I crushed up another half of the bag, so it's actually a bag and a half I used, and we put it on top, spread it around. Now this is 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And that goes on top of the Doritos. And of course, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking there's no way in hell this is going to fit. And it wasn't enough. So, back to the microwave, some more butter. And onto the top it goes. Just like that. And there's our Dorito Bake, everything but the actual baking part. That comes next. Into the oven, 350 preheated, of course, 20 minutes. And of course, about 2 minutes in, I said, oh, I forgot. I've got some minced jalapenos. That's going to go on half. So that way you can, if you want it really spicy, you got the jalapeno half, and if you don't, you got the other half. Back in she goes. And there we are out of the oven. There's our Dorito Bake. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.